Poetic gesture is basically re-rendering and reshaping one's experience. So you experience something and then you internalize it and then you fully digest it. And then it just like comes out as your own private language. I always try to adopt bodily element into that poetry. I'm Soo Shin. I'm a sculptor based in Chicago. I moved here from Seoul, South Korea 12 years ago. I'm trying to connect the internal experience with the body and then interpret that into something poetic, like basically poetic gestures. All the measurements are actually come from my body, like the width of my body or like the size of my feet or just like the length of my arm and things like that. But the process itself, I usually start with writing. And then I basically create those like poems that involves bodily movements. And my sculptures are basically the interpretation of my written poems. During my stay at the Residency, Kohler Arts and Industry Residency, I got to work with 5 masseuses in Illinois and Wisconsin. I created a clay body for each masseuse and brought it to her massage parlor. And then they treated the clay bodies as human torsos. And that treatment was imprinted in the clay, and then I casted those into brass. Part of our culture only values immigrants' body based on their productive value, right? So for me, in a way, that using the body in the context of poetry is really important, and then kind of my way of resisting that. Because if you think about like poetic gesture, it's not productive or practical, right? So for me, it's my own way of just like fight against that. Yeah, using my body just, poetic way, or just, put my own body in the poetic context. Also, that's part of the reason why I fragment my body, and then you cannot really just like see the realistic color of the skin or anything, but it's just a form, right? So for me, that's almost just like the invitation to the viewer to project their own body into my work, and then just like be in that space, that metaphorical space that I create through my work. I imagine myself as making shoes like for other people to wear. Not physically, but there's a saying, right? They put yourself in somebody else's shoe, right? So in a way, I always just imagine myself like making shoes. Yeah, basically I'm just like creating this space, right? Even though I'm presenting like this part, but I'm just like talking about like this absent part as well. And then people to just, like actually be, imagining to be in that space. So it's shoes.